Have you ever poured your heart into helping someone, only to feel their resentment sting like a hidden dagger? As an empath, why do you attract people who seem to dim your light? Even when all you offer is kindness, it's not your fault. It's a powerful dynamic of the human psyche, and Carl Jung has the answers. Welcome to Jung Psyche Hub, where we unravel the mysteries of the mind through Carl Jung's timeless wisdom. In this video, we're diving deep into why empaths attract people who secretly resent their light. Using Carl Jung's profound concepts like the shadow, archetypes, and individuation, we'll explore why your empathy draws both love and hidden hostility, and how you can protect your radiant energy while growing stronger. From real-life stories to practical steps, we'll uncover how to turn resentment into a catalyst for your personal transformation. Stick with us until the end to discover 5 powerful insights that will change how you navigate relationships as an empath. Have you ever felt drained by someone's unspoken resentment? Share your story in the comments, we'd love to hear it. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more Carl Jung-inspired wisdom. Let's get started. Welcome to the first step of our journey to understand why empaths attract people who secretly resent their light. Guided by the profound wisdom of Carl Jung, if you're an empath, you've likely felt it, that magnetic pull where some people are drawn to your warmth like moths to a flame, while others seem unsettled, even hostile, for no clear reason. It's a confusing dynamic. But Carl Jung's psychology offers a powerful lens to make sense of it. In this chapter, we'll explore what makes empaths so radiant, why their light stirs both love and resentment, and how Carl Jung's concept of the self explains this paradox. Let's dive in. To understand why empaths attract such intense reactions, we first need to define what an empath is through Carl Jung's framework. An empath isn't just someone who feels deeply or picks up on others' emotions. It's a person whose psyche is uniquely attuned to the collective unconscious, the shared reservoir of human experience Carl Jung described. This attunement makes empaths vessels for what Carl Jung called the self, the totality of the psyche that integrates both conscious and unconscious elements. When you're an empath, your openness to others' emotions, your ability to sense unspoken pain or joy, isn't just a skill, it's a reflection of your connection to this deeper, universal layer of the mind. This connection creates what we call your light. It's not about being perfect or flashy, it's the quiet radiance of authenticity, compassion, and awareness that shines through you naturally. When you walk into a room, your presence shifts the energy. People feel seen, heard, and understood in ways they can't always articulate. But here's the catch. That same light that draws people in can also unsettle them. Why? Because your authenticity exposes what Carl Jung called the shadow, the hidden, unacknowledged parts of others' psyches, like their insecurities, fears, or suppressed désir. Your light acts like a mirror, reflecting not just their beauty but also the parts they've buried deep. Let's bring this to life with a story. Meet Mia, a social worker in her late 22nd, who's always been an empath. She has a gift for making people feel safe, whether it's a struggling client or a friend in crisis. At a recent gathering, Mia's warmth lit up the room. Friends leaned in as she listened, her eyes full of understanding. But one friend, Claire, seemed off. When Mia shared a small success, a promotion at work, Claire rolled her eyes and muttered, "Must be nice to have everything fall into place." The comment stung, and Mia felt a familiar pang of confusion. Why did her joy seem to irritate Claire? Reflecting later, Mia turned to Carl Jung's ideas. She realized her empathy, her light, wasn't just comforting, it was revealing. Claire, who was struggling with her own career, saw Mia's success as a painful reminder of her own insecurities. Mia's authenticity, her ability to stay open and vulnerable, highlighted Claire's fear of failure. A part of her shadow she wasn't ready to face. Mia's light wasn't the problem, it was the contrast it created, stirring Claire's unspoken resentment. This is the paradox of being an empath. Your light, born from your connection to the self, is both a gift and a challenge. Carl Jung taught that the self is the archetype of wholeness, the center of your psyche that strives for balance and integration. As an empath, your sensitivity allows you to embody this wholeness in moments of deep connection, like when you comfort a friend or sense a stranger's pain. But that same sensitivity makes you a beacon, drawing out the shadows of others. When someone resents your light, it's rarely about you as a person, it's about what your presence awakens in them. So, what can you do with this understanding? The first step is to recognize your light as a strength, not a burden. Being an empath means you carry a rare gift, the ability to see and feel beyond the surface, to touch the deeper currents of the human soul. But it also means accepting that not everyone is ready for what you reflect. Carl Jung reminds us that the collective unconscious is a powerful force, and your attunement to it makes you a catalyst for transformation, whether others welcome it or not. Let's go back to Mia. Instead of shrinking after Claire's comment, she decided to embrace her light. She reached out to Claire, not to confront her, but to check in. Hey, I noticed you seemed upset the other day. Everything okay? This gentle gesture opened a door. Claire admitted she'd been feeling stuck, and Mia's success had hit a nerve. By staying true to her empathic nature, Mia didn't just diffuse the resentment, she deepened their connection. This is the power of understanding your light as an empath. When you see your sensitivity as a reflection of the self, and you stop questioning your worth and start seeing the bigger picture, your light doesn't just attract resentment, it also creates opportunities for healing, both for others and yourself. Ask yourself, how does my empathy shine? And how do I feel when it's met with resistance? This question helps you honor your gift while preparing for the challenges it brings. In this chapter, we've uncovered the essence of empaths through Carl Jung's lens, their light, born from a connection to the self and the collective unconscious, draws both love and resentment. By understanding this dynamic, you can embrace your sensitivity as a strength and see resentment as a reflection of others' shadows, not your flaws. Stay with us for Chapter 2, where we'll dive into how the shadow and projection fuel this hidden hostility and what you can do about it. Have you ever felt your kindness spark someone's resentment? Share your story in the comments. We're all on this journey together. Welcome back to our journey of understanding why empaths attract people who secretly resent their light. Guided by Carl Jung's profound psychology, in Chapter 1, we explored how empaths shine with the light of the self, drawing both love and resentment because of their deep connection to the collective unconscious. But why does this light stir hidden hostility in some people? The answer lies in two powerful Jungian concepts: the shadow and projection. In this chapter, we'll uncover how the shadow, the hidden, unacknowledged parts of someone's psyche, fuels resentment toward empaths, and how projection turns their inner struggles into outward hostility. Let's dive in. Carl Jung described the shadow as the part of our psyche we push away the insecurities, fears, shame, or desires we don't want to face. Everyone carries a shadow, and for most people, it stays buried, out of sight. But when an empath enters their world, something shifts. Your light, your authenticity, your ability to feel deeply and connect without pretense acts like a spotlight, illuminating the parts of their shadow they've worked hard to hide. This isn't something you do on purpose. It's simply the nature of your presence. Your openness and vulnerability make others feel exposed. And for some, that exposure feels like a threat. Here's where projection comes in. Carl Jung taught that when we can't face our shadow, we project it onto others, blaming them for the discomfort we feel inside. For empaths, this means your light becomes a target for others' unresolved pain. When someone resents you, it's rarely about what you've done. It's about what your presence reveals in them. Your compassion might highlight their inability to connect deeply. Your authenticity might expose their fear of being vulnerable. Instead of facing these truths, they project their discomfort onto you, turning you into the problem in their mind. Let's see this in action with a story. Meet James, a yoga instructor in his 32nd, who radiates calm and positivity. His classes are a haven for students seeking peace. But one co-worker, Sarah, always seems irritated by him. During a staff meeting, James shares an idea for a new mindfulness workshop, and Sarah snaps. That's just another feel-good gimmick. People want real results. Her tone is sharp, and James feels a familiar sting. Why does his enthusiasm seem to bother her? Later, reflecting on Carl Jung's ideas, James realizes Sarah's reaction isn't about his workshop. As an empath, his light, his genuine passion and openness touches a nerve in Sarah's shadow. Sarah, who's been struggling with burnout and feels disconnected from her own sense of purpose, sees James's positivity as a painful reminder of what she's lost. Instead of confronting her own exhaustion, she projects it onto James, dismissing his ideas as gimmicks to avoid facing her own feelings of inadequacy. Her resentment isn't about James, it's about the mirror his light holds up to her shadow. This dynamic is why empaths often feel misunderstood or targeted. Your ability to sense emotions and create space for others' feelings makes you a natural mirror for their psyche. But when someone isn't ready to face their shadow, they may lash out, criticize, or pull away, leaving you wondering, what did I do wrong? Carl Jung's wisdom helps us see that you didn't do anything wrong. Your light simply stirred something they're not ready to acknowledge. So, how can you navigate this as an empath? The key is to recognize projection for what it is and not take it personally. When someone reacts with resentment, ask yourself, what might this person be projecting onto me? What part of their shadow is my light exposing? This shift in perspective helps you detach from their hostility and stay grounded in your own truth. It's not about changing who you are. It's about understanding that their reaction reflects their inner struggle, not your worth. Let's go back to James. Instead of letting Sarah's comment dim his enthusiasm, he decides to approach her with curiosity. After the meeting, he says, "Hey, Sarah, I noticed you seemed frustrated. Want to talk about what's going on?" His gentle question catches Sarah off guard, and she admits she's been feeling overwhelmed at work. By recognizing her projection, James doesn't just protect his own energy. He opens a door for connection, helping Sarah feel seen without absorbing her resentment. This is the power of understanding the shadow and projection. As an empath, you can't stop others from projecting their shadows, but you can choose how you respond. Carl Jung reminds us that the shadow isn't the enemy. It's a part of the human psyche that longs for integration. By staying compassionate but detached, you honor your light while giving others space to face their own shadows in their own time. In this chapter, we've explored how the shadow and projection drive the hidden resentment empaths often face. Your light, as an empath, shines a spotlight on others' unacknowledged fears and insecurities, leading them to project their discomfort onto you. By recognizing this dynamic, you can protect your energy and respond with wisdom rather than self-doubt. Stay with us for Chapter 3. where we'll dive into how archetypes shape these complex relationships and what they reveal about your role as an empath. Have you ever felt someone's resentment reflect their inner struggles? Share your story in the comments. We're all learning together. Welcome back to our journey of uncovering why empaths attract people who secretly resent their light. Guided by Carl Jung's profound psychology. In Chapter 2, we learned how the shadow and projection fuel hidden hostility toward empaths, as their light exposes others' unacknowledged insecurities. But why do these dynamics play out so intensely in relationships? The answer lies in Carl Jung's concept of archetypes, universal patterns in the collective unconscious that shape how we interact with others. In this chapter, we'll explore how empaths embody the archetype of the wounded healer, attracting both allies and adversaries, like the destroyer or enemy archetypes, and how understanding these roles can help you navigate resentment with clarity and strength. Let's dive in. Carl Jung believed that archetypes are like invisible scripts in the psyche, guiding our behaviors and relationships. For empaths, the wounded healer archetype is often at play. This archetype represents someone who, through their own pain and transformation, develops a deep capacity to understand and heal others. As an empath, your sensitivity isn't just a trait, it's a reflection of this archetype, forged from your own experiences of struggle, loss, or emotional wounds. Your ability to feel deeply, to connect with others' pain, makes you a natural healer, but it also casts you in a role that draws complex reactions from those around you. When you embody the wounded healer, your relationships become a stage where archetypes interact. Some people are drawn to you as allies, seeking your warmth and understanding. Others, however, take on adversarial roles, like the destroyer or enemy archetypes, which manifest as jealousy, criticism, or subtle sabotage. These archetypes aren't literal enemies, they're expressions of others' unconscious struggles, triggered by your light. Your presence, as a wounded healer, challenges them to confront their own unhealed wounds. And for those not ready, this can spark resentment. Let's bring this to life with a story. Meet Sarah, a therapist in her early 42nd, who's always been an empath. Her clients love her ability to listen without judgment. But her best friend, Laura, has started pulling away. At a coffee catch-up, Sarah shares how fulfilling her work feels. Hoping to connect, Laura responds with a forced smile and says, "Wow, must be nice to have all the answers." The sarcasm cuts deep, and Sarah feels confused. Why does her passion seem to push Laura away? Reflecting on Carl Jung's archetypes, Sarah realizes she's embodying the wounded healer. Her work, rooted in her own journey through past trauma, allows her to guide others with empathy. But Laura, who's grappling with feelings of stagnation in her own life, is unconsciously playing the enemy archetype. Sarah's light, her sense of purpose and authenticity, mirrors Laura's unacknowledged frustration, making her feel inadequate. Instead of facing her own struggles, Laura projects her discomfort onto Sarah, using sarcasm to mask her resentment. Sarah's role as a healer isn't the problem. It's the unconscious dance of archetypes in their relationship. This dynamic is common for empaths. As a wounded healer, your light draws people who are hurting, but it also attracts those who resist healing. The destroyer or enemy archetypes show up as friends who belittle your dreams, colleagues who undermine your efforts, or even family members who dismiss your sensitivity as too much. Carl Jung taught that these archetypes are part of the collective unconscious, playing out in relationships like a cosmic drama. To Pekiva, your light triggers their inner conflict, and their resentment is a sign of that struggle, not a reflection of your worth. So, How can you navigate this as an empath? The first step is to recognize the archetypes at play. When someone reacts with resentment, ask yourself, what archetype might they be embodying? Are they acting as a destroyer, trying to dim my light, or an enemy, pushing me away to avoid their own pain? This perspective helps you see their behavior as part of a larger, universal pattern, not a personal attack. By understanding the wounded healer within you, you can honor your role without feeling responsible for others' reactions. Let's return to Sarah. Instead of internalizing Laura's sarcasm, she decides to approach the situation with curiosity. Guided by Carl Jung's wisdom, the next time they meet, Sarah gently says, "Laura, I've noticed you seem distant lately. Is something on your mind?" Her question, rooted in her empathic nature, invites Laura to open up. Laura admits she's been feeling lost, and Sarah's success made her feel like she was falling behind. By recognizing the enemy archetype in Laura's behavior, Sarah doesn't take it personally. She creates space for connection, helping Laura feel seen without sacrificing her own light. This is the power of understanding archetypes in relationships. As an empath, you can't control how others' archetypes manifest, but you can choose how you respond. Carl Jung reminds us that relationships are a theater of the unconscious, where archetypes dance and collide. By seeing resentment as an archetypal reaction, you free yourself from self-doubt and step into your role as a wounded healer with confidence. Your light isn't just a gift for others, it's a guide for your own growth, helping you navigate the complexities of human connection. In this chapter, we've explored how archetypes, like the wounded healer, destroyer, and enemy shape the relationships of empaths, driving the resentment they often face. By recognizing these universal patterns, you can understand others' hostility as a reflection of their inner struggles, not your flaws. Stay with us for Chapter 4, where we'll dive into practical ways to protect your light as an empath. Using Carl Jung's wisdom to set boundaries that preserve your energy. Have you ever noticed an archetypal dynamic in your relationships? Share your story in the comments. We're all on this path together. Welcome back to our journey of exploring why empaths attract people who secretly resent their light. Guided by Carl Jung's transformative psychology, in Chapter 3, we uncovered how archetypes like the wounded healer and the destroyer shape the complex relationships empaths navigate, often sparking hidden resentment. But how do you, as an empath, shield your radiant energy from being dimmed by others' hostility? In this chapter, we'll dive into practical ways to protect your light by setting boundaries. Drawing on Carl Jung's concept of the guardian archetype and the process of individuation, these tools will help you preserve your emotional strength while staying true to your compassionate nature. Let's get started. Being an empath means you carry a unique gift, the ability to feel deeply and connect with others' emotions. But this gift can leave you vulnerable, especially when you encounter resentment or negativity. Without boundaries, you risk absorbing others' shadows, draining your energy, and dimming your light. Carl Jung's psychology offers a powerful solution: the guardian archetype, a symbol of inner strength and protection. The guardian isn't about building walls or shutting people out. It's about creating a sacred space around your psyche, ensuring your light shines without being overwhelmed by others' unconscious projections. Setting boundaries as an empath is an act of self-respect. Rooted in Carl Jung's concept of individuation, the lifelong journey of becoming your true self by integrating all parts of your psyche, including your light and shadow. Individuation requires you to honor your needs, even when it feels uncomfortable, especially as an empath who's used to prioritizing others' emotions. Boundaries allow you to stay compassionate while protecting your energy, so you can continue to shine without burning out. Let's see this in action with a story. Meet Emma, a 5-year-old artist and empath who's always been the go-to person for her family's emotional needs. Her younger sister, Rachel, often calls late at night, unloading her frustrations about work or relationships. Emma listens patiently, offering support. But lately, she's noticed Rachel's tone turning sharp. When Emma shares her excitement about an upcoming art exhibition, Rachel snaps. "Oh, great. Another thing you're amazing at." The comment hurts, and Emma feels drained, realizing she's been absorbing Rachel's negativity without limits. Reflecting on Carl Jung's teachings, Emma recognizes she's been neglecting her own boundaries, letting her role as an empath overshadow her needs. She decides to channel the guardian archetype, a protector of her inner light. The next time Rachel calls with a rant, Emma takes a deep breath and says, "Rachel, I love supporting you, but I'm feeling overwhelmed. Can we talk about this tomorrow when I have more energy?" Rachel is surprised, but agrees. And Emma feels a sense of relief, knowing she's honored her own limits while staying compassionate. This is the essence of protecting your light as an empath. Setting boundaries doesn't mean rejecting others, it means creating space for your own growth. A key part of individuation. Carl Jung taught that individuation involves balancing your connection to others with your inner truth. For empaths, this balance is crucial, as your sensitivity makes you prone to taking on others' emotional burdens. By embracing the guardian archetype, you learn to say, "I can care for you, but I won't carry what isn't mine." So, how do you start setting boundaries? Begin with small, intentional steps. First, notice when you feel drained or resentful after an interaction. It's a sign your boundaries need strengthening. Then, practice clear communication, like Emma did, stating your needs calmly but firmly. For example, if a friend constantly demands your emotional support, you might say, "I value our friendship, but I need some time to recharge. Let's catch up later." This approach respects both your light and theirs, fostering healthier connections. Let's revisit Emma's story. After setting that first boundary with Rachel, Emma notices a shift. Rachel begins to respect her limits, calling less frequently and even asking about Emma's art. By protecting her energy, Emma not only preserves her light, but also deepens their relationship, showing Rachel that mutual respect is possible. This is individuation in action. Emma grows closer to her true self by honoring her needs, while still embodying her empathic nature. As an empath, protecting your light also means recognizing when boundaries aren't enough. Some relationships may require distance if the other person consistently projects resentment or negativity. Carl Jung reminds us that individuation sometimes involves letting go of connections that hinder your growth. This isn't easy, but it's a powerful act of self-love, ensuring your light continues to shine for those who value it. In this chapter, we've explored how empaths can protect their light by setting boundaries, using Carl Jung's guardian archetype and the process of individuation. By honoring your needs, you preserve your energy and stay true to your compassionate nature, even in the face of resentment. Stay with us for Chapter 5, where we'll discover how to transform others' resentment into a catalyst for your personal growth. Embracing Carl Jung's vision of the self. Have you ever set a boundary to protect your energy as an empath? Share your story in the comments. We're all growing together. Welcome to the final chapter of our journey to understand why empaths attract people who secretly resent their light. Guided by Carl Jung's profound psychology. In Chapter 4, we explored how setting boundaries as the guardian archetype helps empaths protect their energy from negativity. But what if the resentment you face could be more than just a challenge to overcome, What if it could become a catalyst for your personal growth in this chapter? We'll dive into how empaths can transform others' resentment into a powerful opportunity for individuation, the process of becoming your true self, using Carl Jung's vision of the self to guide you. Let's dive in. Carl Jung's concept of individuation is the heart of his psychology, a lifelong journey to integrate all parts of your psyche, your light, your shadow, your strengths, and your wounds into a whole, authentic self. For empaths, the resentment you encounter isn't just a burden, it's a mirror reflecting not only others' shadows, but also your own. Each moment of hostility or misunderstanding offers a chance to look inward, to uncover hidden parts of yourself, and to grow closer to who you truly are. By seeing resentment as a teacher, you can shift from feeling drained to feeling empowered, using these moments to deepen your journey toward wholeness. This transformation begins with a shift in perspective. Instead of asking, "Why are they treating me this way?" try asking, "What is this resentment teaching me about myself?" Carl Jung believed that every interaction, especially the challenging ones, holds a lesson for individuation. When someone resents your light, they're not just projecting their shadow, they're also highlighting areas where you might need to grow, like setting stronger boundaries, confronting your fear of rejection, or embracing your own worth. This doesn't mean their behavior is your fault. It means their resentment can serve as a guidepost on your path to self-discovery. Let's bring this to life with a story. Meet Liam, a 32-year-old life coach and empath who's always been a source of support for his colleagues. But one co-worker, Alex, seems to resent Liam's positivity. During a team brainstorming session, Liam suggests a new client outreach idea, and Alex scoffs. "That's just more of your overly optimistic nonsense." The comment stings, and Liam feels a familiar wave of self-doubt, wondering why his enthusiasm always seems to rub Alex the wrong way. Reflecting on Carl Jung's teachings, Liam realizes Alex's resentment is an opportunity for growth. He recognizes that his own shadow includes a fear of rejection, which makes him overly eager to please others. Alex's hostility isn't just about his own insecurities, it's a mirror showing Liam where he needs to strengthen his sense of self. Instead of shrinking, Liam decides to use this moment for individuation. He journals about his feelings, asking, "Why does Alex's reaction hit me so hard? What part of me needs attention through this reflection?" Liam uncovers his tendency to seek validation from others, a pattern rooted in his past. Armed with this insight, Liam takes a bold step. The next time Alex makes a snide remark, Liam responds calmly, "I hear you, Alex, but I'm confident in this idea. Let's discuss how we can make it work." His response, grounded in self-assurance, surprises Alex, who softens and engages more constructively. By facing his own shadow, his fear of rejection, Liam not only protects his light, but also grows closer to his true self, embodying the strength of individuation. This is the power of transforming resentment into growth. As an empath, you can't change how others react to your light, but you can choose to use their resentment as fuel for your journey. Carl Jung taught that the self is the guiding force of individuation, a compass that helps you navigate challenges with purpose. When you encounter resentment, try this pause, breathe, and ask, "What is this moment revealing about my own shadow? How can I use it to grow?" This practice turns painful interactions into opportunities for self-discovery, helping you integrate your light and shadow into a stronger, more authentic self. Let's revisit Liam's story. After confronting his fear of rejection, Liam notices a shift in his relationships. He's less affected by Alex's negativity and more confident in sharing his ideas. By seeing Alex's resentment as a teacher, Liam deepens his self-awareness and strengthens his connection to his self. This doesn't mean Alex's behavior was justified. It means Liam used it to grow, turning a moment of hostility into a step toward wholeness. As an empath, this approach empowers you to reclaim your energy. Resentment no longer drains you. It becomes a signal to look within, to heal old wounds, or to embrace parts of yourself you've overlooked. Carl Jung reminds us that individuation is not about becoming perfect, it's about becoming whole. Embracing both your light and your shadow. By transforming resentment into growth, you honor your empathic gift while building resilience, ensuring your light shines brighter than ever. In this final chapter, we've explored how empaths can transform others' resentment into a catalyst for growth. Using Carl Jung's concepts of individuation and the self, by seeing resentment as a mirror for your own shadow, you can turn painful moments into opportunities for self-discovery and wholeness. Stay with us for our powerful outro, where we'll tie it all together and inspire you to keep shining as an empath. Have you ever used someone's resentment to grow stronger? Share your story in the comments. We're all on this journey together. And there you have it. 5 transformative chapters unpacking why empaths attract people who secretly resent their light. All through the lens of Carl Jung's timeless psychology, from the radiant light of yourself to the shadows and archetypes that shape your relationships. We've explored why your empathy draws both love and resentment, and how you can protect and harness your light for growth. Resentment isn't a sign of your failure. It's a mirror reflecting the unconscious struggles of others and an invitation to deepen your journey toward individuation. As an empath, your light is a gift, a beacon that illuminates the world, even when it stirs discomfort in those not ready to face their own shadows. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." Let that sink in. The resentment you face isn't here to dim your light. It's here to remind you to shine even brighter, with boundaries, wisdom, and self-love. Every moment someone tries to pull you down is a chance to rise, to embrace your wounded healer, to set boundaries as the guardian, and to transform pain into growth. Through the self, you are not just an empath. You are a catalyst for transformation, for yourself and others. Now, we want to hear from you. Have you ever felt resented for your empathy? And how did you handle it? Drop your story in the comments below. Your experience could inspire someone else on this path. If this video touched your heart, give it a thumbs up to spread Carl Jung's wisdom to more empaths out there. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss another deep dive into psychology and self-discovery. Share this video with a friend who needs to hear they're not alone in their empathic journey together. We're building a community of light and growth. Thank you for joining us at Jung Psyche Hub. Keep shining, keep growing, and keep embracing your true self. Until next time, let Carl Jung's wisdom guide you to a life of authenticity and purpose.